Earth, mainly piloted by their androids so they don't get shot out of the air.
So how many years do you think they are ahead of us technologically? 100? 50?
Oh, no. I think they're at least 2,000 years in advance of us. Galileo started the scientific revolution only 300 years ago.
Right, right. So they're way ahead of us then.
Oh,
How did they get this technology?
They've been progressing since they went up there 2,500 years ago, so without any wars or disease, they were able to progress a lot faster continuously. It's just like us. If we went from the time of Galileo to 2,500 years into the future from Galileo, we would be at their level of technological advancement.
What do you think their cities look like? I mean, tall skyscrapers and things like that?
They build their cities. They're not very as large as some of our largest cities, but they have unique architecture. Mirages of an inner Earth city seen in Alaska describe them as more Oriental type architecture. Olaf Janssen described them building big palaces of music that they love to sing, and they have lots of gold and silver and valuable stones that they decorate their palaces with, and they are quite interesting people.
And welcome back to Coast. I'm George Norrie, along with Rodney Clough, and your phone calls as we wrap things up this final half hour. Rodney, think about this theory, that we don't have a hollow Earth, but maybe we have some indentations on the North and South poles that curve in to the point where it's warmer and vegetation grows, trees grow, there are animals, and maybe even indeed these civilizations. Is that a possibility?
That was a theory of Lieutenant Green, the physicist that went with Admiral Peary to the pole in 1909. He spoke with the Greenland Eskimos and asked them what happened to the Viking colonists that had colonized Greenland for over 1,000 years, and where they had disappeared to. And apparently, when Greenland was recolonized in 1721 by the Europeans, they didn't think to ask the Eskimos what happened to the lost Vikings. But the Eskimos told Lieutenant Green that every year they would go farther and farther north because of better hunting towards the north. And then one winter, the hunting party came back and told the rest that they had found a paradise up in the Arctic. And so they just all packed up their bags, the Eskimos said, and just traipsed off across the ice and never came back. So Lieutenant Green believes that out there in this area where I estimate the polar opening is, there was a continent, an island, that was heated by geysers and volcanoes and kept warm in that manner. And they were going to go up there and explore, and it wasn't too long after that Admiral Byrd flew up there and found out that it was the polar opening and flew inside the hollow Earth. Actually, there have been a couple of movies based on this. There's a movie put out by Disney called Island at the Top of the World. It's based on Lieutenant Green's idea of there's an island out there. Magnetic field is caused by, like a dynamo, it has two solid parts, one rotating about the other, with both of them having electrical currents. So
okay.
the current in the shell of the Earth and the electricity of the inner sun, both of them being solid, one rotating at a different speed about the other is what causes the magnetic field. Now, so scientists can't understand why the Earth's magnetic field is inclined to the Earth's axis. This can only be explained by the hollow Earth theory, which was proposed by Edmund Halley back in the 1800s, in which he proposed that the Earth's magnetic field is created because the Earth is hollow and has a core that rotates at a different rate than the shell. Well, the South Pole is on a continent, and it's easier for the nations of the Earth to set up their bases and to explore it, probably easier than up in the Arctic. And as far as what they find down there, they're not telling us what they're finding. We just hear rumors.
And what are you hearing? Rodney, you there?
Yes.
What are you hearing in terms of what they're finding down there?
Just like the guy that emailed me and says he knows a bunch of military men that have seen the polar opening. I mean, our government's not telling us about this. We just hear it by the grapevine. And the inner sun is not maintained there by magnetism. It's maintained there by gravity and a combination of gravity and also ionic force of the ion emission. The radiation that the inner sun puts out helps it maintain its central location. Astronauts that went to the moon, interestingly enough, when they set foot on the moon and they dropped the hammer and the feather, I measured it and how fast it fell. And the moon has a third more gravity, about one-third of the gravity of the Earth, not sixth. Based on that, how fast that hammer fell to the moon's surface. The scientists saying that the moon has 1/6 gravity is not true. For an illustration is the movie Superman. When these astronauts were up on the moon and they were jumping around, that's 1/6 gravity. If you remember that movie, they were jumping around on 1/6 gravity. Our astronauts that went to the moon, they were not jumping around like that. There is not 1/6 gravity on the moon. The moon is actually hollow also, and the astronauts left seismographs on the moon and dropped a third stage of the rocket onto it and measured the moonquakes going down into the moon's surface, and it came back revealing that the moon is hollow and has a shell about 60 miles thick. It's a very dense planet.
Give me odds, Rodney, on your expedition on what you think its percent of success might be.
We are going on this expedition on faith that we will find the polar opening and enter in. We're going in the spirit of Christopher Columbus. People laughed at him, made fun of him, called him a hollowhead, and he believed that he was inspired by God to discover America. We are going in the spirit of Columbus. We have a Russian nuclear icebreaker that has the ability to make it to the hollow Earth. We have the ability to find that polar opening, and we hope that we can enter in and prove that our Earth is hollow. And this knowledge that we will obtain will not be kept secret, because this expedition is an expedition of we the people. Only those of us who have money to buy a ticket on this voyage will go. And so the knowledge that we obtain will belong to us, to we the people.
Earlier I asked you if you thought governments would stop you from this expedition. You didn't answer me. I want to ask you that again.
Well, they haven't so far. When Steve went to South America and did a conference down there, he was approached by an agent of the Illuminati who offered to finance our expedition. We felt like that we better not use their money, because they from past experience they seem to try to control everybody with their money. And
they may have wanted to suppress whatever you might have found.
Yeah. So this expedition is going to be financed by we the people.